Dotted along the coastline of Wales, United Kingdom, are small villages which have a long history. In summer, these normally quiet country villages come alive with crowds of tourists drawn to the beautiful sea. For a town whose local economy depends on tourism, purifying the water used by thousands of people before it is returned to the sea is of utmost importance. We focused on what Kubota, who has been in the water business since its foundation, could do to solve the issues confronting these small towns.
So I've been involved in looking at high quality effluent treatment and drinking water treatment for quite a number of years now. The two things that matter most to public health are quality of water you drink and the treatment of the water that you've used. Because if you don't do that, you get cholera outbreaks, you get all sorts of other diseases, typhoid, typhus, all of these things have gone from Western societies. In the water industry at that time, the regulations were very weak. That meant that your quality of water that was going into the sea was very poor. And the number of sewage works, for instance, around the coast in the UK was very low, where they were collecting the effluent and pouring it into the sea almost untreated. People were increasingly saying, you can't just throw things in the sea, because when the tide turns, it comes up on the beach. So the European Union put together some regulations, and the Bathing Water Directive was one of those key regulations. And that brought in high quality requirements for bathing water beaches. Places like Wales, they have a lot of coastal resorts, and they often have treatment works quite close to the town. People to be walking on the hillsides or on holiday and saying, what a lovely view, oh look, there's a sewage works. So there was an important requirement to make it compact, make it high quality, and make it invisible.
So I'm Andrew Burgoyne. I'm the Process Engineering Manager for Welsh Water, and I came to work in Wales because of the MBRs. So with an MBR, you get disinfection inherent with the membrane. So this MBR treats a flow rate of about 33 litres a second. So that takes all the sewage from the local businesses and homes and takes it through the MBR and treats it to a condition that it can be discharged into the sea. So the advantages of the MBR are that you can fit it on a small footprint. I found that the Kubota MBR produces a very high quality effluent. That's why an MBR is a very compact process.
More people want to go in the sea, and before it'd be like, oh no, you don't want to, but there's sewage going into the sea, but now it's much better. So it's really important that everything in the sea is clean, and definitely.
I live here on the farm, going Cynyddion all my life, and it's been in the family about 300 years, generations. Down in Llanbedr, it's quite a tidal river there, so high tide, it does come over the floodplains. Just nearby the plant there, we have the livestock grazing there on the grass, so imperative it's quite clean, so it is really. So around this area it's quite sacred in a way. From the hills you've got the lakes, and there's some stories to them, like going back generations. So yeah, I mean it's very important, good quality and clean. I wouldn't think so. They drive past it quite often, I don't think they look, and there's no noise, no smell or anything there. It's quite inconspicuous, they just pass. No, it's very good.
The water industry people at the time, this was almost magic, that you could take something like sewage, put it into a tank, and what comes out is so clear and clean. And one must remember that probably the most important medical advance of the last 1,000 years is not penicillin, it's not any of these wonderful drugs that are around, it's not heart transplants, because we have recognized that that is important. So that's where I see the biggest advances have been made. So if I've made a small contribution to making that a little bit better, then I'm happy about it.
Wastewater purified and returned to nature. This was crucial for ensuring people's health now and in the past. With its discreet presence, Kubota's MBR plays a key role in the daily life of many people in the UK. And now, these MBR are performing important functions day after day around the world.